Hi everybody, welcome to my last round in the Alzira under 2400 chess tournament I played during last year's Christmas, and this is finally the last round's recap. I was playing Black Pieces. The game was pretty interesting and I made a very big mistake. So I'm a little bit embarrassed of showing this mistake because it wasn't like intentional. It was just the fact that I forgot what to do specifically. So let's see what happened in the game. So this game started with e4, I replied with e5, and he played the f4, which is the king's gambit. So I took the pawn, he moved the bishop to c4, and then I moved the knight to f6, which is what the book recommends on this position. Knight c3 and then c6. So here, essentially, what c6 looking for is to break on d5 and have the central control, kick the bishop out. Remember that he played a gambit, also we have a temporary extra pawn. So this is pretty good for us so far. Then I managed to do d5, and then when he took, I took with the knight. He took back and I took with the pawn. So here I felt really good after all the trade because overall I'm ending up getting a tempo. So now he has to move the bishop. And this is an important check he needs to have in mind. I really thought that in this moment he was going to check me. But I was good with that but I was fine with it because if he would have checked me, I would have just blocked with the knight on c6, and this was perfect for me because he's maybe obligated to take because I'm threatening check and fork him, and all the checks are just on my favor because I can just block and then do my castle. So I was really fine with this situation. He didn't check me, he just retreat. I started thinking, and of course I knew that the check was up in the air. I fought for a little bit because maybe this was something that I was missing or something that I didn't know and he was planning, but it was all controlled and I just checked him and I got rid of his possibility to do castle. So now, as you can see in the bar, is a very comfortable position already for black. Then I moved my bishop to e6, he moved his queen to f3, and here I moved my other bishop to d6, protecting the pawn. And he moved his knight to e2, threatening my pawn. 3 pieces are threatening my pawn and only 2 pieces are defending. There is only one way to protect the pawn, and it's g5. Actually, g5, even if it's going against the chess principles of taking care of the center and etc., is good so far because my king is not in danger and his king is also in the middle of the board, which means that he needs to defend at the same time that he is attacking if he plans to attack. So my king is pretty safe. Also, my bishops are a very good barrier for my king. And now he blundered because he played g3. I fought for a while because I didn't think at any moment that it was something I missed, but I was looking for the best reply. I fought for many options for me as black, like queen h6, just supporting, or maybe a double, like a counterattack, like an intermediate move. But at the end I figured that simply queen check was enough. He can't block with the queen because of f3. And this is what happened on the game. So what's going on here? Like, he is touching my queen, but my queen is defended. So f3 is actually a fork, like the typical fork everybody knows. And apart from being a fork, the queen is pinned. His own queen is pinned, so he can take the pawn with the queen, which makes it harder. And if he does the intermediate move, that could make my move impossible. When I retake, that's a check. It's very good for me. The thing is that here, when he took, I don't know why, I decided to take the knight, and I should have just taken the queen. But thankfully, he took back with the king. He could have come here and protect the queen, and well, I didn't get the piece for free. But I was lucky because he didn't do it. And well, then we end up in this position where I got an extra piece. So as we all know, when you have an extra piece, what you have to try to do is to trade all the pieces. Well, not all, because then it's gonna be a draw, but almost all the pieces. So you keep your extra piece and you use it to grab his pawns, and well, at the end is like the most simple way to win is getting on past pawn and promoting. So I tried to do that. I started like a simple development, and after I check him, and then I played h6, which is a move that is planning to move the bishop to g5, forcing the trade. Apart from forcing the trade, if he takes me when I offer for a trade, I'll take back, and the h2 pawn is also a weakness. So he didn't let me. He played h3, I went back, and then he played h4, which is avoiding my offer for the trade, but I offer for the trade on the other side. He didn't want to trade, of course, because he knows that he doesn't have to. And then I found the g3 point to use it as a weakness that I was planning to attack. As you can see, even though he got rid of my initial plans, that was to trade the bishop, anytime he moved the pawn, he created a weakness. Anytime a pawn moves, creates a weakness. Especially on endgames, we need to be very careful with that. Of course, here he couldn't do anything better, like he was doing literally the best, because he has a piece down, but in other situations with equality in material, you should be very careful with how do you push your pawns and if you are creating any weakness and etc. He came with the bishop to f2, and then I push h5. h5 is literally fixing the pawn on f3, so he can never push again, and well, it's a even weaker weakness. He came here and I came bishop here because I realized that the rook doesn't have any active spot besides this one, but that one allows me to offer for a trade, and then he has to block, and he gets more passive and passive and passive while he's getting rid of the trades. So finally I managed to trade everything, but after bishop e3 I played the rook to e5, so now I'm not anymore looking for the trade. Actually, now I'm looking for material, because when I managed to double both of my rooks in the e file, he is gonna be in a very big danger in this file, which is gonna force him eventually to trade everything. So I came there, and well, then I end up on e2. Of course, he tried so hard for not to trade anything, and I don't blame him. I think that's the best he could do. I think that's what I would have done if I would have been him, because the position was like so static, and I think that was just the best. And just waiting from an inaccuracy that I, of course, can make. So, well, when I was here, I already was feeling very confident. In this position, there have to be like many ways to win the game. But I found like the most typical resource when you have a rook in the second rank, which is to double them both in the same rank. And here, so many checkmate patterns are gonna be developed. So I did that, and I did this, and I wasn't worried about my own rank because all my pieces are controlling everything. So he came here trying to check, but it didn't work. And when he did this, I did this, which is threatening check, and then bishop a3 as soon as he covers on c1. He did this, which is now actually threatening entrances, like he's threatening rook e8 and rook takes knight checkmate. For example, imagine that I do something crazy like rook takes pawn, he'll checkmate me, like rook check and then checkmate. So here, of course, I wasn't going to blunder that, but as you can see, chess can like turn around in 1 second. I didn't take the pawn, of course. I came with my initial plan, which was rook b1 check. He blocked, and then bishop here. And now this check is not working anymore, because when the knight blocks, he doesn't have the possibility to take, because the bishop is not here threatening the knight anymore. So as soon as I blocked the check with the knight, he resigned. This was a pretty interesting game. I feel that I played really good. I just moved by taking the knight instead of taking the queen directly. I really don't know what happened in my head, in my brain in that moment, because I think neither me and my opponent realized in the game that that was happening. We both assumed that it was the same. I knew that it wasn't the same, I just didn't know what I did in that moment. Anyways, this was my happy ending in the tournament. I'm really happy with my performance because I end up getting 18 FIDE rating points in my classical, so I'm back in the 1960, which is gonna be updated in February in the FIDE rank. Yeah, but I'm happy, guys. I'm happy with my games. As you can see, I've uploaded the recaps from my whole games, and yeah, we're gonna be without recaps till my next tournament, which is gonna be in Sligo, Ireland, towards the end of this month. In January 31st, I'm gonna be flying to Dublin and then taking a bus to Sligo in the Diamond Coast Hotel, I think is the name, to play this tournament that I've been invited to as content creator. So guys, I'll of course be streaming it on Twitch and YouTube and uploading the daily recaps after the rounds. I hope you have enjoyed all these recap series from my past tournament that I played in Christmas. I hope this is it for today. Like and subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!